Today we're going to be changing the ceiling fan in the living room, and we're going to be installing a Hunter Summer Breeze from the late 90s, model 25514. This is the first fan I have that came to mind once I saw these lights up here. It's just a perfect match in styling from the 90s. It's all period correct, and it should look great. So before we proceed with this installation, we need to do a preliminary check here. Unfortunately, the box has been opened and resealed. It looks like that actually happened potentially twice. There appears to be 3 different layers of tape on there. I find that highly annoying because once something like this has been opened, there's almost certainly something damaged, misplaced, or broken, which is the same thing as damaged. And particularly on stupid eBay, we see that all the time. People type in box open to verify contents. If there's one piece of tape and it's not disturbed, the contents is the same. Whatever. I don't remember where this came from. I think it probably came from the Digitan Goodwill. Alright, so, oh, there we go. Brand new ceiling fan, as if that wasn't obvious. Well, here's the first damage. Whoever opened the box the first time cut through the blades 3 individual times. That's stupid. So I guess, let's see. I think this is called walnut, is a near perfect match. Actually, they both match pretty good, but the walnut is really a pretty good match. If this, you know, I bet I have another new set of blades somewhere that's comparable to this. I mean, it's not super noticeable, but it might be during the daylight. Yeah, that stinks. Oh, maybe we'll just install the oak for now. We can always go back and change it. Alright, so we have, oh good, we do have long lead wires. Is this a 1-inch rod? Looks like it. So I think that we should be able to reuse the same rod that's up there now. In fact, I think that rod is a Hunter branded rod. Okay, that all looks pretty good. Now this Hunter brass, it really almost looks like chrome. That's the one thing I don't like about these Hunter bright brass fans, is the brass doesn't have a lot of yellow to it. And that's not this lighting, it's always like that. The fan is dated 2000. 0.85 amps. These are pretty high performance fans. The box claims 7,000 CFM on high. I think that's a bit much, though it's hard to say. You know, the CFM standards as measured today have gone down significantly compared to years ago, but how the heck do you tell which one is accurate? There's one screw that's been moving around. Let me put this screw back in place before it scratches something. Just take it out and hopefully not lose it. That looks pretty good. I wish this brass was more yellow. It's very silvery, and I wonder if it wasn't always like that, because on the box it looks plenty yellow. Oh. There's the irons. Reasonable pitch. They're in good condition, just not particularly yellowy. We need to make sure we have 5 of these. We have 5 of them. We have the screws, we have the manual, we have the balancing kit, which we hope we don't need, and we have a snack for later. Alright, so we need to just check the bearings and make sure the bearings are not too bad. They might have a like a clicking sound to them. It's usually what happens when Hunter bearings age. They start to make like a clicking and ticking noise. Normally that would annoy me, but I don't think it would be audible over the stove. So it's probably fine in this particular case. These bearings don't feel very good at all. I don't hear anything, but they feel kind of rough. Well, they might just need a break-in period. It was also colder downstairs where I had this. We'll give it a shot. This is not going to be tough to uninstall if it does turn out to be that there's a problem with the bearings, because no light is, it's very simple install. All right, well, I gotta get the ladder up here. We'll take this down and then get this installed. Okay, we're ready to begin. The exposure on this video might be a little bit dim. I only have half the lights right now. This fan might resurface soon somewhere else in the house. I really liked it. Oh shoot. I did not enjoy installing it, and I'm not enjoying uninstalling it either. I'm already having some trouble here. So this whole apparatus here is a separate piece from the fan itself. This goes with the fan, of course. I'm going to do as little disassembly as possible to get this thing down, because as long as the fan here is off, we're losing a serious amount of heat. And it's cold out today, so that's not ideal. I'm going to do something that's probably not a best practice, which is to just push this whole thing up and turn it so that I can get to the other screw. And yes, this is the correct size screwdriver for this task. And this is the AccuArm thing at work. The screws stay in place. It's a dream to work with. Absolutely brilliant. If I recall correctly, the worst part of this is going to be getting this decorative ring off the canopy. I think that was very difficult to get on. Yep, that is going to be a problem. Is it reversed? That's what it was. I knew there was something weird about it. It's reverse threaded. Yeah, it is so hot up here at the ceiling. It's got to be 15 degrees warmer up here than it is on the floor. That is unbelievable. I always knew that it was like that without the fan on, but to be up here and feel it is something totally different. Now, I had a curiosity about this that I wanted to check next time I had this fan down. And the curiosity was, can I fish a snake from there down to there? I don't know the answer to that without trying. And since it's so cold today, I'm not sure that this is the right time to try. I think the medallion is only being held in place by this bracket. If that's the case, then I guess it doesn't really take any additional effort just to stuff a piece of wire down there and see where it goes. Yeah, this is not held in by anything else. Okay. I suspect if there's any issue, it's going to be the angle. So really, we can probably just grab a piece of wire and see if it goes down or not. This should answer my question. And this is why I like the other ladder better for indoor use, because it doesn't mark up the floor. You have to deal with all these pieces of wood and everything shifting around. Alright, let's see. Since there's so much insulation here, I might need an actual metal snake to be able to push through this. Well, I don't feel any kind of hard stop. It's kind of hard to tell though. Maybe a piece of BX would be able to... Actually, you know what might do it? Is that screwdriver. That screwdriver might be long enough for me to tell. No. Maybe. I've got the tip of my hand on the screwdriver, so that's about that far. So, in relation, that means it was like right about there. So actually, we might be good. That might be easy. It might be easy to just snake down wires. Interesting. Not a project for the winter time, but that's good to know that it might actually be very simple to add 2 more fans in here, which is something I would really like to do one day. Alright, so that's cool. Can keep that information on the table now. That's actually pretty exciting to know that, because this is the only room in the house where I don't have access above and below, and you know, so that makes fishing wires kind of a challenge. But if I can do that, which is the only thing I'd really, I really can't fathom doing anything more than something vertical. You know, I can get almost anything in the ceiling I wanted. So that's cool. I like that. Where's the hook? Well, don't tell me it just hangs like that. Oh, I don't particularly like that. I think from a technical safety perspective, not even so much safety, but like a code standpoint, the wiring should go on top, but because of the fact that we're balancing on the ladder, I'm going to put the wires inside the canopy. It's a metal canopy. It's gonna, I mean, it's, well, I guess, no, I should stuff the connections. Alright, never mind, scratch. I'll put the connections up on top. It's going to take a shortcut, but that's not a good idea. You should never take shortcuts. They typically result in failure. Look how much the sun has yellowed this thing already. Jeez, it's only been up there for like, what, 2 years maybe? This medallion's a piece of junk. I should really buy a new plaster one or something. I was always concerned about if these wires ever broke, how I would clean that up, but now I'm not concerned about it at all anymore because it seems like it would be easy to just, maybe easy isn't the right word, possible I should say. It would be possible to just snake a new wire in. I wonder if I had a different ladder, if I'd feel better about this. This ladder is very wobbly, which is extremely unnerving. Oh, I gotta put this, the medallion up there first. I gotta move this ladder back. Yeah, I think you're supposed to actually glue this to the ceiling, but I don't know what surface, unless you glue it here, but then it's like, I mean, you can't glue the outside, nothing to glue to. And on the ceiling, you can't glue the inside because no ceiling around it anymore. Is almost out of wood. I'm gonna have to shut this down and clean it tonight, which is gonna be fun because there's no igniter in there anymore. It won't be until I don't know, maybe Friday or Saturday. So it's kind of a pain in the neck to restart it. But it's better than being cold. I think this mounting bracket's gonna get replaced next time. It just doesn't thread very nicely on this one side, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. Something's not quite right. See how easily this screw just threads right in there? Almost like it cross-threaded once, and now it's just permanently screwed up. Actually, that's probably exactly what happened. I have plenty of these mounting brackets downstairs in the garage. I should be able to just swap out the bottom part and not even have to replace the part that attaches to the building. The medallion is not centered. That stinks. The medallion is centered. That does not stink. Now that screw is threading a lot better. Okay, so we got all the wires down here. We can push the connections back up once we make them. We can just stick them up in there. Our bond wire. Why is that? There we go. I always get nervous the wires are gonna get chafed on this thing here, but don't seem like it. Okay. Now we gotta set up the downrod. Now since there's no light on this, I think that we could have bumped up to a 30-inch rod. This is 24-inch, but I don't have one on hand, and with how much a polished brass rod costs right now and how difficult it is to find, I'm not buying it right now. I'll keep an eye out for one, but this is not the time of year to be spending extra money. I suppose when I have some extra money, I'll buy 3 of each kind of downrod. I've already bought 3 of each kind, polished brass and antique brass, in the smaller form factor, I don't know, 1/2 or 3/4, whatever it is. But I don't have a good stash of the 1-inch like this. And I only bought those somewhat in a panic because they were getting discontinued, and so they were very cheap on the Craft Made website. They were like a couple dollars a piece. It was very economical. Alright, hopefully this rod goes on the new fan just fine. I think it should, because I'm pretty sure that this is actually a Hunter branded rod. This is all dusty. I want to wipe everything down before we put it back up. Bah. Alright, so we need to change, yeah, so the screws, the threads go on the bottom. Is this the same size? I hope so. Nice long lead wires on this. Nice to see, makes this process easy. I wasn't sure if this was going to come with these or not. Okay, so we have a bit of a challenge here. It has the set screw, right? And what I want to do is I want to try to put the set screw through the hole. Otherwise, if you put it on the threads, it gets all chewed up and you can't reuse it. Or, I mean, you can, but it becomes very difficult. Comes with this tiny little 1-inch rod. It's pathetically small. It's not going to let a lot of air over the blades at all. Alright, so this grounding rod, this grounding screw we can move over. The new rod has it. I bet this is a Hunter branded rod. Fairly certain that it was. Seems to have all the right connections, so it probably is. That's a problem. No, it's not. No, I should put the wires through before I put this on. It's going to be annoying with the with that bar in the way. It's going to be annoying without the bar as well. It's so close. Well, 2 of the 3 came through. What the heck? There we go. Alright, so let's see if we can get this to screw on the way that I want it to. I don't know why Hunter opted for this threaded connection as opposed to the basic pin and rod. which I thought worked just fine. It's kind of an odd design choice, but whatever. So that's like that. Now if we put this in here and this threads through all the way, then this has gone through the hole. It'll prevent the rod from loosening, and it's serving its purpose, although not the way it was originally designed to. Nope, it stopped. I gotta go down one or two more. Okay, perfect. So now the rod should not be able to turn. Yep. So that's locked in place. Now we'll put the put this back on. Oh, for heaven's sakes. These fans were pretty easy to install for the most part. I think Hunter really got the best mounting brackets on some of the low profiles with the ones with like the 3 hooks on it. That was a great mounting system. These are pretty reasonable too. All around these are solid fans. In fact, I think these are probably some of the best fans that we saw in the 90s and 2000s. These are standing the test of time. They're very quiet, very powerful. They look nice. I really think these are some of the best. Oh, for heaven's sakes. These are all user errors. This has nothing to do with the ease of install. Okay, let's see. Did I forget anything else? No, I think that's it. Okay, so we've got all our mounting apparatus connected on the fan. We've got the bracket on the ceiling. I think we're ready to go. So I believe that the way this works is this will hook on the canopy on the side there, and it can just kind of hang while we connect the wires. It's going to be tricky with the medallion potentially in the way and my stupid wobbly ladder. I can't see where the hook is to align this up at all. I might have to reposition the ladder to get this to go. Yeah, I can't get that, no way. It's going to be very difficult as it is. Forget about when I can't see it. Alright, that should give me a better angle. Now let's see if I can get it. I hope so, but there is a chance I can't because of the way the medallion is. Gosh, look at this ladder. Unreal. Well, I can push it up a fair bit. Let's see. Alright, got it. It was more of an issue of not being able to see than it was an issue of the medallion. Oh, that's looking great already. Actually, I kind of like this system. It's about as good as the hook. I think the hook's a little bit easier to use, but what the heck's it like that for? Why is this so loose? What the heck? Oh, come on. We were so close. Is something wrong with this? I think that's just the way it is, because this is one of those ones that's got the bracket goes like this and it goes on the top and then it screws in the top. And it's not gonna come down. I'm practically hanging from it. It's not gonna fall. I think that's just why it's like that, because it's whatever. I'll check it out next time. If I really thought it was a hazard, I would check it this time. I don't think so that it is. Okay, I'm pretty sure that the black with the white stripe is the light. Usually it's blue. I don't know why this is deviated from the standard. The heck? Put the connections up inside the box like that. The ground, well, I don't care, that can stay down below, that's fine. Alright, that's that. Get some mounting screws in here and screw the canopy on. This stove gets very rattly when it runs out of pellets, which is annoying right now, but it's actually kind of convenient. And this is all the blade screws, and then it's like these are the mounting screws in here. I think all that apparatus is for the flush mount. These two screws should be... There are 3 or 2. There's usually 3, but this one looks like it's only 2. These should be our canopy screws. No. That aligned pretty easily, all things considered. Some kind of splinter or something in my sock. Ow! Jeez! Never a dull moment around here. I think that's just the way the bracket is by nature. I'm putting a lot of weight on there and it's not coming down. Just see that has always been a problem, that squeaky noise. And it's just ever so slight movement. Will cause that stinking medallion to make noise. So we need to get a different medallion, I think. But I also don't want to put something that's too permanent in place, because if the wires break, which inevitably they will, I will need to remove the medallion to pull, to pull more wire through. So, multiple things to consider there. This should be lined up a little bit easier over here because it has nowhere to move. Yep, it was lined up perfectly. Yeah, this brass definitely does not quite match the brass of the lights or any other brass for that matter. Any other polished brass. I really hope that this doesn't wobble at all, because that stupid thing is creaking away. That was the problem with the St. Clair. It had a slight shake to it and it just squeaked relentlessly because of the canopy. It doesn't take much. Well, we'll find out soon enough. Alright, let's go ahead and turn this on and make sure that it's working. Hopefully it's just switched off because it's not working. It was switched off. Okay. Motor seems to be completely silent, which is what would be expected of a fan of this quality. Alright, let's assemble these blades. This plastic wrap is probably the only part of the packaging I won't keep because it's just really not reusable. Why is it not coming off? So as far as the finish goes, this looks blurry. I think this is probably a closer match to the room, but that is a pretty close match to the room. But this does not clash by any means either. This is also pretty good. I think we're gonna go with the medium oak. Now let's consider the options. Here we have that, or we have this. Now I'm going to go with the oak. Yeah, I think we'll go with the oak. So we have to put these grommets in here. It's a close call. It really is, because I do think this matches the room slightly better, but I don't know. They're two totally different finishes. Yeah, this one does match the room better. I guess the determining factor is how bad is the one blade that was cut through, because that's the side that it was cut on. It's certainly noticeable from looking at it up close. You know, on the ceiling, would you be able to tell? Probably not. I really can't tell which one to go with. Now see, from this angle and this lighting, doesn't match at all. We'll go with the medium oak. It's hard to go wrong with that. But it is a close call in this case. I know these are a pain in the neck to get out. What about to get in? Not as bad. I really wonder how much of a difference these things actually make. I feel like most of the vibration and noise would come from the motor mount, not so much the irons. But I guess on these there's no isolation between the irons and the motor, so I guess that's what this is for, is to prevent any vibration from transferring over. Yeah, these are a little bit of a pain. Been a long time since I've installed a Hunter fan out of the box, and these are definitely annoying. But it was, the design worked because it was very quiet, so it's worth a little bit of annoyance to get these things in place, to have a nice quiet fan. But on the other hand, there's other brands that did things differently and achieved about the same level of noise reduction, so I guess they all have different advantages. Huh. These are not in perfect condition by any means. That's actually in pretty bad condition. Wonder if I can get that to clean off with some water or something. And that one was in the middle. That's kind of weird. Let me see if I can get that cleaned off. I don't know what that is, but I can't get it off. The finish of the blade started to come off before it was coming off, so we'll just have to live with it. Probably won't notice it much once it's on the ceiling. You know, it's obvious now because you're looking at it up close under the light, but that's not how you look at a ceiling fan. Though I don't understand why it's like that, because the blades were never opened and that was not on the top or the bottom. At least I don't think it was. The other thing I don't like about this grommet system is that it seems like over time the blades appear to warp, but it's really just they get loose in the irons. You know what? I really feel like there should have been something. There could have been a better way to do this than these grommets. This just feels very like archaic and unrefined, considering how recent this was made. Came with an extra screw, but not an extra grommet. It never really gets all that tight, and I feel like that's going to lead to potential wobble over the years. Although actually that's tighter than I thought it would have been. There's a little bit of play, but not too bad. All right, let's get this onto the fan. Light bulb, almost light bulb freak show right there. I am trying so hard not to bend these brackets at all, which I always try to do, but it seems like the fan still ends up being slightly out of clock. How the heck are we ending up with an extra screw? I don't recall there being any extras. It's kind of weird. Okay, we are done, and that looks excellent. And actually the height is still good. It's not too high. I always like to give everything a good check. Yeah, that's up there. No problem. I'll leave the infamous loop on the chain there. We want that in down. That looks great. Very nice. It's got a slight wobble to it. It drives me nuts. I was so careful with that thing, and it's still just ever so slightly off. Alright, installation complete. I might put that other fan away on video, I might not, I'm not sure. I'm kind of running out of time tonight, and I might just put it away off video to speed up the process. Or actually I might just put it down in the other room for the night and deal with it on in a couple of days from now.